Hello, hello, my beautiful friends. I know it's been a while since I dropped in your inbox, but here I am. And thank you to those of you who have reached out in social media, especially because that's where really I'm hanging out the most. And wondering where I was or what I was doing. I know for the last few weeks or even months, I've been a little more quiet, not sending so many newsletters and or hanging out in my website, which is something that I'm working on. But I'm back. And honestly, when I say being quiet, it's not so much speaking out, but it's more speaking within. And what I mean by that is in the past, especially starting the year, right? Every new the beginning of the month or the beginning of the year, I used to be so crazy about planning my goals, the things that I have to do every single week or even every single month. What are the things that I want to achieve? But then also, I realized that one, I wasn't getting as many as those things that I was planning on doing or getting. Two, I was putting too much pressure on myself, and that felt so draining. It was exhausting. So I had to ask myself, be very honest, and ask myself, my intuition, my gut, my mind, my heart, what are the things that you're doing that are filling you up, that are bringing you joy? And not just bringing me joy, but also what are those things or people or behaviors that are helping you in advancing towards your purpose as a woman, as a coach, as a person who is here to serve, right? So, are the activities that I'm doing, is the behavior, the way of thinking, the methods that I'm using, are they really serving me? Or are they just kind of wasting my time, Because, like I said, at the end of the day, at the end, especially at the end of the week, I'll be like, oh my God, where has the time gone by? Like, it felt like I did so many things, but I did nothing. So, and here's the thing that I want to ask you guys. I know this is through an email that you're watching this video, but please reply back to me or even write me back on social media. But I want to ask you this question. How many of you guys have felt that you have to be perfect before starting anything, any kind of project, any idea that you might have, any adventure? How many of you, and I think the majority of us have felt this way, that we feel that we have to have things perfect, or we have to think or be perfect before starting something. So I feel like most of the things where I could not complete as far as my goals were because I thought that I wasn't ready, and I wasn't really believing in myself, and I wasn't having the confidence that now I know I had, right? So in that space of being quiet, what I had to do is really see and analyze, okay, what are the things that really are helping me internally, when I say my inner voice, that are helping me process the way I'm thinking, the way I am being, how it is that I'm feeling. So I'll share four four um four of those things that I've been learning. So number one, and I think this is the biggest uh, takeaway that you can have from this video or in general, is I think is the most important thing that we all should practice, because it's something that will bring us all together as a group, as a collective community, and also within ourselves. It's something that is going to help us a lot understanding the way who we are, how we do things, and that is awareness. So I've been practicing more awareness. I've been really staying quiet and not just watching myself or other people, but kind of watching the way and when I say I, not so much as Wendy, but as a soul, how it is that I'm processing feelings, how is it that I am processing the way I am interacting with other people, and am I really being in the moment, or am I being present but not really focusing in the feeling part of things. So that's one thing that I think is very important, because after this, once you start doing or practicing more of that, it can help you with the rest of the things that I'm going to tell you about. So awareness is something that is big. I think it's something, and the good thing is that a lot of people are being more conscious about it. Awareness is the part that makes you really work from your conscious mind rather than your unconscious mind. And this is number two. This is the second thing that I've been delving myself in more and more and learning, and that is the mind work. I've been getting more familiar with that, what that means, how to identify the mind, meaning the conscious mind and the unconscious mind, which is the mind that is really helping me, and which is the mind that is keeping me safe, that is keeping me, blocked or stuck, because sometimes the mind, which is unconscious, that's the one that is keeping us all safe. It's the one that is telling me, Wendy, don't do this because you're going to get hurt. Or Wendy, don't even think about that new plan, that new idea because you've never done it and probably you're going to fail. So it makes me doubt, right? Some people call it the ego, so same kind of thing. But I also think that the unconscious mind is something helpful. It is a helpful part or side of our mind that not only is keeping us safe, but it's also teaching us many things. So I've been learning about understanding that and how to really shift in a more gentle way into the conscious way of thinking. How can I be present, which is the awareness? How can I be present now and really think my thoughts rather than letting my thoughts think me? So, how can I be more present in my way of thinking, therefore acting, and therefore saying the things that I want to say and being the kind of person I want to be with other people rather than reacting? Reacting because it's something that I've learned so many years ago. Reacting because that's for my safety, so that I'm not hurt and I'm protecting myself, right? So that's something that is so interesting. Anything that has to do with the mind, I feel that even though it can get complicated or it can get a little bit more, for me at least, because I'm more spiritual than anything else, it can take so many other parts to help us understand. But I'm just loving it, and I've been reading about it, and plus with my coach, it's something that has been really helpful. So that's the second thing that I've been learning about. Number 3, and that is, again, it has to do with the awareness, and that is watching how I speak, watching how I act and interact with people, how I respond and not react. Because a reaction is something that you do automatically, maybe as a reflex, because you're defending or keeping yourself safe. You are reacting, right? Responding to a kind of act that is happening towards you or around you. Where a response is something that is more in the conscious level, that you're actually thinking through it and responding to something. And in that, what you're doing is also using the type of words, that are going to either help you or are in a way, keeping you behind, keeping you stuck. And for example, really quick, I've been very careful with the things that I'm saying. I've been watching, and I'm more aware of them, and I can catch myself and retrain my brain and my mind saying, no, Wendy, don't say this because that's a negative kind of way of thinking or negative belief, or that's something that is not. It doesn't sound positive, For instance, instead of saying I need to complete this task, I would rather say I get to complete this because that's what I want. That's what it will imply. Or I choose to complete this rather than I have to, I need to, right? I got to do this. So try to practice this, like whenever you have a chance, and watch yourself how you are using your words. Are you using the words that are coming out of a scarcity way of thinking? Meaning that you have to do something because, let's say for work or completing a project at work, you have to do something because you know that you're going to get paid, or you have to do it or you want to do it because you enjoy it. So there are two different feelings right there. One that is more pressing, one that is reflecting that you don't trust maybe the abundance in your life, that you don't think that you can make it, that you're doubting, in a sense, your skills or abilities, and that you have to use them to get paid, which in reality, that's what happens. But it's just the way we're thinking or processing about that. Or are you more of the mindset that is of abundance and choosing and deciding this is something that you get to do because you love it? Now, I'm going to tell you super really quick this thing that I've learned many years ago, well, 2 years ago from my coaches when I was working with them. And even if you are in a situation, let's say in a job, in a relationship that you don't like, you hate, quote unquote, even though I don't want to use that word, but you really want to change, still try to love it. Try to say, I come to work, even though that's not the thing that you would like to do, right? But say, I'm still here, I'm doing this thing that I am enjoying because that's something that is bringing me closer to my purpose. And that hopefully is going to make your mind retrain, reprogram, and then saying, okay, this is something that I don't want to do, but I'm doing it because I like it. Let's see what else do you like. So you're trying to teach your mind how to like things. And so the mind is just like a little puppy or little kid, right? When you are reinforcing it with something good, in this case, it's going to want to keep doing something good. So because it knows that it's going to be rewarded. So even though the reward is something that you might not see right away, but it's the feeling of it, the joyful feeling, that is the reward. So that's something that is hopefully something that it makes sense. I will talk about this more in a near future, but it's just fascinating that how our words can make a total difference, in the way we are and how we are, how we act, how we treat people around us. Because our words, there's a saying that I don't know that well because I don't know it in English. That's not something that I learned in English, but basically it's that the way you say things, it can either hurt someone or make them feel loved just by choosing the right words or not. Number 4, and this will be the last thing that I'll share with you, and that is celebrating. And that's something that I've been loving, because I feel like we don't do this enough. We don't give ourselves a lot of credit or any credit at all. And we've done amazing just by being here. And especially as women, we feel like we're obligated to do all these things. And if we are at home with our husbands, boyfriends, or wives, or kids, or anybody out there, sometimes we feel that we're not supported because nobody's recognizing who we are. And then here's the thing, don't feel that you have to do huge things, right? That you have to run a marathon, that you have to, I don't know, build a house, or that you have to, even especially for single parents, because they do way a lot, obviously, because they're covering 2 different roles, the mom and the dad. But then at the same time, also praise yourself and celebrate yourself for the smallest thing. Because again, it's the training of the mind that you're telling it, good job. Even for getting up and making the bed, even for taking out the trash, even for doing the laundry. And especially me, I'll tell you, because I'm here by myself most of the time, I get distracted so easily that it's so easy for me to stop doing something and choose to do something else. And then at the end of the day, I don't do, my chore for the house, right? And so I feel bad. And so even if it's the smallest thing, so start treating yourself in that gentle way and celebrate yourself, with, going to get a massage, going to the spa. One thing that I've been doing lately, and I share in Instagram, I'm taking baths, which I usually do, but I'm taking, I'm also having champagne baths, meaning I'm having a glass of champagne with some juice or whatever, and then I'm pouring some champagne on me and saying, good job, cheers, Wendy, you deserve this. Because one, we all use champagne to celebrate a new year, like a promotion at work or anything, right? Or when you get romantic with your spouse or your partner, why not getting romantic and celebrate with yourself, and why not using champagne? So that's something that has been fun for me. And especially it'll be fun in the summer because right now it's so cold that I'm like, oh my God, it's going to be a cold splash of champagne, but who cares? So that's something that I've been doing, and hopefully something that, it'll just kind of spark your little curiosity about it. And so let me know if this video has been helpful. Let me know if you have any questions, what else it is that you want to hear from me. I'll be popping more in your inbox, I promise, and then also in the Facebook group. So I know there's a lot of changes that I'm trying to organize myself in how to do things, because again, I don't want to put so much pressure on me, and I don't want to make things or do things that are, they feel like an obligation rather than coming from the space of love and joy that comes from my heart, okay? I love you all and have a wonderful day.